Good day, everyone. We sincerely hope that everyone will enjoy this presentation of variety proposals from us, which also includes information on the areas we want to specifically protect and preserve.
Good day, everyone. My name is Christine K. Cabentoy. To start this conversation, the historic place that I want to preserve here in my hometown is the historic Parola or Lighthouse of Taguig City, which was located at Napindan, Taguig. The reason why I wanted to preserve and protect it is because this has a sentimental value wherein this parola was chosen by Gat and Res Bonifacio as a meeting place during the Katipunan because it was the most accessible channel from Tondo, Manila, along the municipalities of Pasig River and the province of Laguna. Lastly, this centuries-old lighthouse became the secret rendezvous point of the Katipunan as it planned its revolution for Philippine independence. What a great history, right? I can say that this has a big contribution in gaining our Philippine independence. Alright, moving on, how about you, Miss Cabral? What heritage sites in your hometown you want to preserve?
Well said, Miss Dean. Now let's move on to the place that I want to preserve. I choose Our Lady of Manawag Church, which is located in Region 1 in Pangasinan. Because of its history and it's known for a miracle church, Our Lady of Manawag is a 400-year history or renowned miracle event. According to the legends of its origin, a farmer was walking through a field when he heard a woman's voice and saw the Virgin Mary and the child standing in a cloud veiled by treetop, and soon the church was built on the spot where the lady appeared. A town quickly flourished around it and was called Manawag. Our Lady of Manawag actually refers to an ivory statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary brought from the Spain via Acapulco in the early 17th century to the Philippines by Padre Juan de San Jacinto. During the Spanish era, Amos Mountain tribes attacked the village of Manawag and set the buildings on fire. Although the entire town was burned down, the church was miraculously preserved. That makes the church more miracle to all Filipinos. So I decided I want to preserve it because by doing so, we also preserve its history, which is I think really significant because it provides history about our past, how our society has evolved, that help us examine our history and traditions that enable us to develop awareness to ourselves and help us to understand why we are the way we are. Now, let's move on to our next topic. Let me call on Miss Cherry to discuss further.
Thank you, Miss Cabral. So I want to preserve the pansiteria located in Binondo, Manila. Far from its then glitzy image, the 1880s pansiteria is now a crumbling structure with a gate to keep away drug dependents who use the abandoned house for pot sessions. Sandwiched between two buildings in Binondo, Manila, is a decrepit century-old structure said to be a Spanish-era pansiteria that was mentioned by Jose Rizal in the novel El Filibusterismo. This crumbling wooden building with its dilapidated copy shell windows is believed to be the Spanish-era restaurant called Pansiteria Macanista de Buen Gusto, famous back when Binondo was a bustling commercial district. Rizal, whose execution the country commemorated on Monday, December 30, wrote of the pansiteria as the venue of a meeting of 14 students where they ate pansit ng lang while mocking the Spanish friars. Many Filipinos also want to preserve this location because it is an 1880s building that was once owned by a certain Don Severino Alberto. It is unquestionably a historic building that ought to be preserved. It has advanced death rotation at this point. If no action is taken, it might easily collapse soon. We want to preserve this place because preserving the history of a place through its significant historic resources gives the community its unique character. Historic preservation provides a link to the roots of the community and its people. Overall, historic preservation adds to the quality of life, making for a more livable community. Let's now hear from Miss Cordero what and where she wants to preserve.
Thank you for that, Miss Kalimutan. The next place that I want to preserve is the Pinaglabanan Shrine that is located in San Juan City. This was built to commemorate the heroism of the Katipuneros who laid the siege to pulverin the Almacen, a memorial belonging to the Spanish colonial government. becoming the first battle of the Philippine Revolution against the Spanish Empire. The shrine has a statue of a woman supported by two children holding up a bolo or a machete. This was built to commemorate the opening salvo of the 1896 Philippine Revolution, when the local freedom fighters known as the Katipuneros laid a siege to arms storage facility called the Almacen. Belonging to the Spanish colonial government, it is the statue that is depicted on the city's seal. The museum also has an e-learning room where students from grade 5 to 7 will take online interactive lessons about Bonifacio and the Katipunan. The first in the country produced by the NHCP, the activity is undertaken in partnership with the Department of Education.
Well said, Miss Cordero. To start the conversation, the historic place that I want to preserve here in my hometown is the new Iona's Refreshment Parlor. The new Iona's Refreshment Parlor. They are serving quality delicious food at a very affordable price. They are also encapsulate the culture of Infanta and also the Infantahins. This is also a family-oriented food service facility that caters to people from all walks of life. So, let's now hear from Miss Romualdo what and where she wants to preserve.
Thank you, Ms. Gusalatar. Good day, I'm Pauline Amy Romualdo, and the historic place I want to preserve is the Our Lady of the Abandoned Parish, situated in Marikina City. The Our Lady of the Abandoned or Ola Church was built in 1690 and was then known as the Our Lady of Protection. It became known as the Our Lady of the Abandoned in 1792. The 326 years old church enshrines one of the several images of the Virgin Mary venerated as miraculous and had received papal recognition. And on October 23, 1971, the church was consecrated by the Archdiocese of Manila for the Virgin said title so it could be used for any secular purposes. The church also suffered major damages during the tumultuous years of the Philippine-American War in the early 1900s, and the carillon was totally destroyed during the Second World War. And by 1967, the Ola was restored and refurbished by Father Silvestre de la Cruz of the Archdiocese of Manila, with the help of various civic and religious organizations. And that's all. Thank you.
The CCP is now 50 years old. I want CCP to be preserved since it is the flagship venue and principal offices of the Cultural Center of the Philippines. Designed by national artist for architecture Leandro Locsin, its design was expanded upon the unconstructed Philippine-American Friendship Center. The Tanghalan is a primary example of the architect's signature style known as the floating volume. A trait can be seen in structures indigenous to the Philippines such as the Nipahat. It houses 3 performing art venues, 1 theater for film screenings, galleries, a museum, and the center's library archives. Construction began in 1966 with Alfredo Jr. serving as a structural engineer Filipino, firm DM Consunji as the builder. Originally called the Theater of Performing Arts, it is completed and inaugurated in 1969. Its major event renovation occurred in 2005 for the opening and closing ceremonies of the 111th General Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union held in Manila. Included in the renovation were cleaning and replacement of the marble trim, installation of a new air conditioning system, and new carpeting.